deadlines. So one day in my recent past, I'm on brooklynpubliclibrary.com because for me, that's usually a good way to get myself out of the endless loop of closing Twitter and then immediately opening up a new tab and opening Twitter again. So I go to my hold list, and to my horror, there are a whole lot of entries lit up in green indicating they're ready for pickup at the Central Library hold shelf. If you know, you know. Although, if you don't know, usually when I see there's a book that's really popular that I want to read and all the copies are checked out, I'll put myself on a hold list and I'll be like, number 54 or number 207 in line or whatever. And I just forget about it until like 4 months later, the book is waiting for me. But this time there are 5 waiting for me on top of the other 3 that I already have out. And I only get 3 weeks to read them all. Okay, so I picked them all up a week ago. I've already finished 3 of them. And when I went to write them down in the list that I keep in the back of my journals of all of the books that I've read this year, I wrote down numbers 59, 60, and 61. I don't know how that compares to how you read, but for me, that is a hell of a lot of books. Since I started keeping track in my notebooks, I read 36 books last year and 42 books the year before that, which, mind you, was also a lot for me. Like, probably in my adulthood, in the years before that, I was reading maybe 15, 20 books a year. So what changed? I mean, when I first moved to New York, I chalked up all my extra reading to spending all that time on the subway, but then I started working remotely from mostly here, and I still have read more than I ever have. So I want to talk about how I did that. Not the numbers so much as making space in my life to read more books, if reading more books is a thing that you want to do. So there's some similar videos to this that have tips like always carry a book with you, always have a book lined up to read next, don't be afraid to quit reading a book that you're not connecting with even if you haven't finished it yet. And I'm gonna do a quick +1 to all of those. But I also wanna make it clear that I don't think reading is like superior to other ways of spending time, unless you're spending it on Twitter. Twitter is worse than reading a book. Otherwise, if you'd rather watch Netflix or listen to music or go be around people in physical space, fine. Reading is just a thing that I felt like doing more of, but its value in human life as compared with other leisure activities is about the same. Which brings me to my first handy tip for reading more books, which is stop being a snob. In the last year or 2, I started reading graphic novels and YA again for the first time since I was a child, and I had fun doing it, which kept me out of a lot of reading ruts. Of the 61 books that I have read this year, 15 have been graphic novels, 8 have been YA, and they have all been wonderful. Hot take, you should enjoy the books you read. I don't know if it was my English major or like my narcissism about thinking of myself as a serious artist, but I don't know why I used to think that it doesn't count if a book is somehow easier to read. Look at this art! Why would you deprive yourself of this? Also, I'm not one for audiobooks because I find them hard to pay attention to, but if you commute by car instead of public transit, or you like that you can listen to them while you do dishes, or whatever, listen to audiobooks. We're not here to debate if it's reading, it's reading. Next. Okay, the next thing is I started using my library more, which on one hand freed me up from not getting to read books because I don't have the money or the space for them, but on the other hand, it also put a time constraint on my reading, which I've kind of found helpful. Like, I check out a book and I have to finish it in 3 weeks because then I have to return it, and that's enough of a little ticking in the back of my head so that I don't like forget that I have a book to read, you know? You know where you just set a book down like 75 pages in and then you don't pick it up again until 2 months later? It just keeps me picking the book up every day, especially when the hold shelf lottery decides that all the books I've been waiting for are gonna come in at once. And so I have to be really intentional, I guess, about would I rather do whatever activity or read my books. And sometimes I really wouldn't rather read my books. And that's also helpful information. And my final reading hack is have a reason to do it other than like trying to get the high score on Miss Pac-Man on Goodreads or whatever. Like, if an arbitrary reading goal is really what gets you out of bed in the morning, go off. But if the only reason that you want to read more is because you secretly think it's gonna make you better than other people, you'll really quickly realize that it doesn't make you better than other people. And you're gonna go back to scrolling Twitter, which we all know is worse. It's the only thing that's objectively worse. So why do you wanna read? Like, I love reading graphic novels to appreciate the artistry, which is to say, look at the pretty pictures. But probably the most significant reason that I've been reading so much this year is that I started writing fiction again for funsies. And so I wanna read more books just to study them, pretty much. Like, to learn how other people put stories together. Maybe there's something else that you want to learn that's not that, but I bet you there's a book about it. So let it come from a place of genuine curiosity, and you look up and realize that you have 5 books waiting for you at the library, and you can't wait to spend time with every one of them. In the comments, tell me what I should read next. And if you like this video, there are a couple ways you can support me. One is by clicking that little bell-shaped icon so that when I put up a new video, the internet tells you, hey, Taylor made a new video, and you watch the video. The other is by throwing a couple dollars my way on Patreon to get things like a newsletter where I recommend books to you, and you help me make more of these videos, which that little bell tell you to watch. I'll see you soon. Bye.